And as we round Oshit Corner, the plan today is to head to the Peak District, because we've not been there for a while. So I reckon it will possibly be a cuppa at Wetton Mill and dinner at either Grindleford Station or the Yonderman. We'll decide when we're nearer the venue. And the malt shovel at around 10:30, well, just before. And I see Graham's there, I see Richard's there. I believe there's another one to turn up. And turn up he did a few minutes later. Right, time to make a move. And yep, it looks like we've got everybody. So hopefully, next stop, Wetton Mill. And as we go through Kings Bromley, it's blue sky and fluffy clouds and the A515, which all in all is not a bad combination. And we're stuck behind a JCB, but it doesn't matter because we're turning right just here, or as the case may be, we're not, because the road's closed. Okay, go with plan B. As long as we turn right off the road that we're on now, it'll take us in the direction that we want to go. So let's follow the JCB for a bit. This is as good a place as any to make a right turn. Excuse me. So we'll go down here and see where we end up. This is the Peak District I've come here for. Scenery, decent roads, oh, and a Citroen 2CV. Yep, I quite like these 20-mile-an-hour single track roads, complete with woolly speed bumps. Oh, there's one in operation. And it's a very scenic downhill we go. I'll leave the camera running a bit because I think the scenery is worth it. And it's over the bridge and into the village of Ilham. Had we have come through Ashbourne, we would have emerged on the road on our right there. So at least I now know where I am and I know where I'm going. Famous last words. And without any further mishaps or misdirections, we roll up at Wetton Mill Tea Rooms, where it's time for a bit of a leg stretch and a cuppa, and I dare say I shall get to play with my roundy camera again. So anyway, let's park up and grab a cuppa. Good grief, that's a horrible sight. Some dodgy old geezer looking into the camera. Any road, that said dodgy old geezer is about to go off now and grab a cuppa. And we'll leave the camera and to have a look around. We'll whiz through this bit, see it's only rocks. And there's Richard, Graham, Wayne and Andy having a cuppa. And there's me heading to join them. There we are, Wetton Mill Tea Rooms. And let's stand the camera up the other end and take a look around. And there's the bridge over the river. Thought there may have been a bit more water in it, considering the rain we had yesterday. But no, it's flowing quite peacefully. And there we all are, taking in the sun and having a cuppa. Of course, no trip to Wetton would be complete without a ride through Swainsley Tunnel. So there you go, that is actually the light at the end of the tunnel. It might be nice and bright, but it's a tad windy up here. It's not cold as such, but it's, shall we say, cooler than it is lower down. Glad I put my woolly pulley on, really. And it's down into Bakewell, where we'll pick the A6 up again for a few miles. Well, that's a bit of luck, we're straight out. Can get held up there sometimes. And here we are at the Underman Cafe. So I reckon it must be dinner time. I can see a gap, we'll fit in there. I used the clockwork time-lapse again this time. As soon as it would be about an hour having dinner, I opted for the sausage, beans and chips, because the sausages at the Onderman, to me, are excellent. And yet it was the sausages that caused one person to leave a review saying didn't like the sausages. It spoilt the dinner. Each to their own. I do happen to like them. They're not the biggest sausages in the world, but you do get quite a few of them, and I think they're excellent. But there you go, as they say, one man's meat, another man's poor review. But as far as I'm concerned, excellent. I would recommend it. This is where we bade farewell to Richard. He carried on back towards home, whilst we decided to take in the Winnits Pass and the Snake Pass. So let's head them off at the pass. And first of all is Winnits Pass. And those rocks, well, cliffs up there on the right, there's people standing on the very edge looking down. No, rather you than me. Unfortunately, there's nothing coming up, so that's a bonus. Famous last words. Now there's room to pass. Well, there is in this bit anyway. really tell how steep it is in the video, but take it from me, it's steep. And it's over the bridge at Ladybower Reservoir, and according to the sign, the start of the Snake Pass. Oh, somebody's in a hurry. What's the betting we catch him up before too long? Told ya. These roadworks may be the reason that they will close the Snake Pass. They're saying it's going to cost too much money to prevent it slipping into the valley, so they're thinking of closing the road. That would make for one hell of a detour. Can't think of an easy way around. Anyway, as long as it's still open, let's ride it. And as you come down, you can see Glossop in the foreground, and behind it you can make out Manchester. Certainly a dramatic view, I'll give it that. Whoops, I missed the turning in Glossop, but I'm sure if we cut through this car park, it'll bring me back onto the road I wish to be on. Fingers crossed. And at Chinley, just outside Chapel on Frith, there's a few railway bridges to encounter. And a rather large brick built one up in front. Just as a point, the place that I had the trike from, the trike guy. They're only just round the corner from here on Chapel on Frith High Street. So here's a shameless plug. If you're after a trike, pop in and see the trike guy. Buxton, and another similar brick built railway bridge. We were stopping here for a leg stretch and a toilet break, but would you look at that, the toilets are boarded up for refurbishment work for the next 13 weeks. I hope I can hold it for the next 13 weeks. Could get messy. It's now mid-afternoon as we take the A53 from Buxton to Leek and past the Roaches there. A bit further on, and Wayne needed to stop for petrol. I didn't need to fill up, but I thought I will, just to see what we're doing to the gallon. And it's about what it normally does. This time it was 36 to the gallon. Normally it's about 37 to the gallon, so you know, not a lot of difference. 17 litres for 136 mile, I believe the figures were. So there you go. I never bought it because it was economical. Let me stop for a little chat. It's at this time I politely point out that I'm not on the road I wanted to be on. We're going to be going through the middle of Stoke-on-Trent rather than just missing the edge of Stoke and going through Stone. There again, I've not been through the middle of Stoke for a long time, so it may be an eye-opener. Considering it's rush hour, the traffic's not that bad in places. There's a multicoloured building on the right I don't recall seeing before on my travels around Stoke. Every available nook and cranny under these bridges contains a pigeon. An absolute pigeon hotel. And before long we're through Stoke and then the A500 and on the slip road for the A34. There we go, Stoke. I've not been round there for, yes, 25 years plus, easily. And as we're approaching junction 11, that's where Wayne will be parting company with us. As we approach junction 10, Graham takes his leave. To be fair, the motorway was running very well. We never slowed down much above 50-55, which is pretty good for a midweek, early evening. And once again, no shit corner, I'm afraid. It's down through the tunnel o' trees, and it's been a decent day. I forgot just how nice the roads in the Peak District are. And oh look, the fly tippers have left us a present. Thank you very much. Oh well. Any road. What was I saying? Been a good day out. Yeah. So yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.